Welcome, everybody. We're so excited about being back on with Verdita Monk with the LifeWave. And we're just so excited that you are on here with us. We welcome each and every one of you. We're just overly excited about what's going on and all the testimonies we're having with the X39 patch. And we want to welcome you and thank you for joining us. And I'm going to turn it over to Verdita and we're going to go forward. We thank you, Jackie, and all those that are here with her. She's on fire and just it's a lot of great things happening for the whole team. And we just welcome you to the Zoom tonight. Go ahead, Verdita. Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you so much, Jamie, for putting this together. I want to welcome the guest. And again, my name is Verdita Monk. My husband and I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and we are senior presidential directors with a company called LifeWave. And this company and this information you're going to hear tonight is literally life-changing. And this is why I'm here, because if I do anything with my time, it's got to really be worth it. I believe you'll feel the same way as we go through this presentation, but I will tell you that Jammie has a huge vision and she loves helping people, as you already know. And this is why she's invited you to this call. I got a chance to meet Jackie a couple of weeks ago at Jammie's church, and she caught the vision as well. And that's why she's invited you all. So I definitely want you all to take notes. You're gonna be wanting to take notes as we go along, because it is some powerful information. Let me pull up a PowerPoint just so that it will keep us on point. So we're talking about a product that's way ahead of its time. We're talking about a technology that looks like about the size of a Band-Aid and is thin like a Band-Aid, and it's about the size of a quarter. But what is so amazing about this is a stem cell reactivation patch. We also refer to it as a technology. And so the reason we're even talking about this is a very important reason. Some of you may be familiar with a term called stem cell research. Doctors have turned to stem cell injections over the past few decades because they have exhausted everything they know to do with a particular patient. So let's say, I know you know people who've said, the doctor said there's nothing else they can do for me, or nothing they could do for my mom or my dad. And a lot of times, especially, depending on where you live, especially like places like California, that's the area that caught on to this first, is stem cell research, prior to anyone else hearing about it. And they embraced it because they wanted to do something to save these people's lives or to make them better. And so stem cell injections are when they take a needle and they take the stem cells from an embryo or another person, and they inject it into a certain part of your body. So for example, if a person was to put a stem cell injection in their knee, it's not going to help them with their heart condition. It's not going to help them with their rotator cuff. It's not going to help them with their Alzheimer's. In other words, the injection is, this needle injection is localized. It's only going to help the area that was where they received that injection. Whereas the patch that we're talking about, this patch, goes all over your body. It's systemic. So no matter what's going on, you put this one patch on, and it may help anything in your body. I'm going to kind of give some hints as we go along so you can see what I mean. But also stem cell injections are very expensive. They can range from $1,500 to $25,000 and even more. And it's not covered by insurance. So that definitely does not make that an attractive aspect. Also, about a third of the time that people get these injections, they don't even work. And so that doesn't even sound like a great option. And this is why we're so excited about this patch, because this thing works. It really works, okay? Now, so we're talking about harnessing light to heal the body. That's very futuristic, something that most doctors even today don't even know about. So move on to the next slide. Now, it's easy to wear this. As you can see, these beautiful ladies, they've decided to display it on their arms so that you could see how easily it is and how small it is to apply. So, but here's what's going to happen. After you get off this call, you're going to be saying, how can I get patched? Because once you get patched, the copper peptides in your body are going to be elevated. And the stem cells in your body in turn are going to be reactivated, and your whole body is going to be regenerated. It's a feeling that you really can't even describe. So why are we talking about it? I kind of gave you a hint why we're talking about it, and it's because people, mostly it's because doctors are, not able to do certain things to help people with their health. But here's what happens. By the time we're 30, half of the stem cells in our body are inactive. And that's very important. As we get to be age 30, you start seeing things happen like, first of all, you're not as energetic as you used to be. You may just start developing little things like high blood pressure, diabetes, not little things, but those kinds of things start happening as we get older. And then by the time we're 60, we don't hardly have any stem cells. Maybe about 10% of them are still active. And this is the reason all of this is relevant, is because stem cells make up the tissues and organs in our bodies that help our bodies repair themselves. It's our body's intended repair system. So if they're gone or they're dormant, now what do we have to work with? So the less stem cells we have in our body, the slower we're going to heal. And millions of people all over the world are experiencing the effects of aging. It's inevitable. So I want to make this disclaimer right here to let you know that LifeWave products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. It's simply going to reboot your body so that it can heal itself. Now, how does it work? It's a proprietary form of phototherapy. Let me just explain phototherapy to you in layman's terms. When you go out in the sun, what happens? The vitamin D in your body becomes elevated, right? But it's not that the vitamin D is floating around in the air or being deposited into your body. The vitamin D is already in your body. It's being elevated and reactivated due to the sun and the heat and the light of the sun. Well, see, with this technology, you don't need the heat and the light of the sun because we already are light beings, aren't we? We already have heat and light in our body. If you ever been in a room where they turn out the lights and you've got a certain type of equipment, you can see people walking around, because we've got light in our body. And so this patch is made out of a patented nanocrystal technology. You can't even see the crystals because they're so small, formulated in an FDA registered lab. So it's non-transdermal, meaning nothing is penetrating into the body. Isn't that amazing? Nothing is penetrating in the body. It's literally reflecting the crystals that are in the patch are reflecting off of the light of your body and going back. And then when it does that, it's going to elevate the copper peptides and reactivate the dormant stem cells. Isn't that amazing? What I just described is something that doctors and scientists says no one could ever do this. It's just impossible. And if it did happen where you elevated those copper peptides, it was automatically going to reactivate the dormant stem cells. So I'm going to introduce you to a person in a moment who did something nobody could ever do. So I keep going on to talk about this. Is there no drugs or chemicals? See, doctors love that because they when we don't tell you to put this patch on and then stop taking your medicine. We don't say that. You let your body do what it's going to do and let your doctor say, your situation has improved so much that I'm going to, cut your drugs in half. So it's not, but I'm just saying it's not going to interfere with any drugs that you're already being prescribed. But many people who are very health conscious, they don't like using drugs or any type of chemicals, especially elite athletes, because anytime an elite athlete uses any type of performance enhancing drug, they're going to be disqualified from the competition. As a matter of fact, the women's Olympic swim team at Stanford University wore these patches when they were in the Olympics years ago. And actually, the coach Richard Quick was the coach that heard about this, and so they would not have been able to use the patch if it interfered with any competition. So, I mean, that just kind of little information that may, be interesting for you to hear. So it's non-invasive, 100% non-invasive, not going to interfere with anything. This is really phenomenal. So you guys, again, we're not saying this patch is going to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease or medical condition, just going to reboot the body. Now, here's the genius that I was talking about, David Schmidt. He's a scientist, you guys. He's the CEO and the inventor of our company. CEO of our company and the inventor of the X39 patch. But he has over 200 patents. But he started specializing in age reversing, and in 2008, he started focusing his attention on stem cell research. You know, I just told you stem cell research has been around for decades, but because he knew how important this was, he decided to do it because as I go through, this man is not afraid to do anything. Over 200 patents. He has created so many things I can't even begin to tell you. But it took him 10 years and $4.5 million to bring this to market, along with his team of scientists and physicians. But 10 years of his life, can you imagine that? He was determined because he really does care about people. Now, because of the case studies that took place over those 10 years, he was able to patent this technology. Here's the patent down here, listed right here. You can take a picture of it, look it up. This is a wearable phototherapy apparatus that produces beneficial effects to the human body, such as activation of stem cells. See, they can't say that in the patent if it's not true. It's reactivating those dormant stem cells in your body, improvement in strength, improvement in stamina, pain relief via a non-transdermal container. So this container, this non-transdermal apparatus reflects or emits specific wavelengths of light to elevate levels of the copper peptide, GHKCU, in the body. I know this is a lot of technical scientific stuff, but just wanted to show you what's in this patent. But look at some of the benefits. So many benefits we can't even list on this page, but let me just list a few. Increased strength, reduce inflammation, energy and vitality, increased stamina, mental clarity, restored muscle and skeletal conditions. You know, I know a gentleman who's in his 80s. This is something recent, you guys. He was, his neighbor, he purchased a 30-day supply of these from his neighbor. And within a week, this man, he used to walk with a cane for 10 years. And within about a week, he went to the mailbox and did not realize that after he got back in that he had not used his cane. Then he comes over to her house the next day and she called his attention to the fact that he was standing up straight. You see, he was bending over all these years. So all of a sudden he looks in the mirror, he says, you know, I am standing up straight. I just wanted to illustrate to you what we mean when we say this restores the muscle and skeletal conditions, because that's exactly what happened to Dr. Smith. Improvement of sleep. You know, sleep is so important especially to the body, just resting and healing itself. This is when our body is being healed, when we're asleep. But what happened to me and my husband the very first time we wore the patch, we didn't realize that, we didn't think anything was wrong with us as far as our health. We thought we were pretty healthy, but we put the patch on out of curiosity. And that night, my husband stopped snoring. See, my husband used to have a chronic sleeping disorder, and he also had acid reflux. So between the two of them, he would snore and choke and cough all night long for over 10 years. And I would be constantly pushing on him to wake him up because he was snoring too loud. Listen, the very first night, he stopped snoring. And it happened again the next night. That's when we realized it had to have been the patch, because that's the only thing he was doing at all or different from what he normally do. This is what got our attention, because as I go along and I'm telling you testimonies as I'm going along, you're seeing that this patch can do almost anything. And last but not least, on this particular list, improve skin appearance. Now, I'm gonna show you a visual of what I mean about improved skin appearance for people with chronic issues with their skin. But I want you to look at right now what happened when they took a 77-year-old woman and gave her a brain scan, or we call it a topography map. So in the first session, they looked at her brain and it was orange. It was orange-red. That means there was inflammation in her brain and there was lack of brain coherence. 3 weeks later, they looked at it again and no more inflammation exists. All blue area in improved brain coherence. And 3 weeks after that, which is a total of 6 weeks on this patch, she had a complete turnaround and better brain coherence. You know, she walked in there with a hyperactive brain. And after 6 weeks, her brain remained calm. You guys, this could be your brain. All of us probably have inflammation, not only in our brain, but our liver, our kidney, all different parts of our bodies. And so this is very significant for you to see this. So look at the case studies, because it also reflects what we just talked about. What happened in the case studies? Remember, you did 80 case studies. They're listed and reflected on this site called thisisatinfo.com. You can go back to that site and look at the case studies. In the very first few days, over 4,000 genes begin to reset. That is really significant, because as far as we know, the only thing we know is that 2 genes are reset when you drink a glass of red wine, which is supposed to be good for the heart because of an ingredient in there called resveratrol. So if it takes 1 glass to reactivate 2 genes, can you imagine how much wine needs to be drank in order to reset 4,000 genes? And so this is very significant. 6 weeks later, within 6 weeks, the brain becomes balanced, just like it did on the lady that I just talked about on the previous.
Got your phone?
Okay,
I
Jamie,
can do
I
it
think
while
you're
she's
talking. Jamie, I believe you're talking.
Okay,
Let me see. Had to mute her. She was unmuted. Sorry about that. Within 6 weeks, the brain becomes balanced. So, another example of your brain being unbalanced is when someone has autism. We have children that have had autism, and I know one in particular, after 1 year of wearing this patch, he no longer was diagnosed with autism. So even though it says within 6 weeks, depending on what's going on in your brain, it may be 6 weeks, it may be 3 months. I know a gentleman that had dementia, and within about 3 weeks, he was doing things he couldn't do before. In people that have Alzheimer's, people that have PTSD, all of those things fall under the category of an unbalanced brain. Within 3 months, your collagen is increased. Do you know how significant that is? Because that's what holds the bones and the muscles together. As we get older, collagen is depleted, but it's going to be increased within 3 months of wearing this patch. Within 6 months, the heart reverses in age. And that's really significant too, because, heart disease is one of the biggest killers nowadays. But every 6 months that you wear this patch, your heart is going to reverse by 8 years. Now, here's another example. I told you I'm going to give you some examples as we go along. I'm going to tell you about my friend Jeffrey. You see, Jeffrey was diabetic for over 10 years and was taking 5 shots of insulin per day. It caused him to have a stroke about 5 years ago. And with that stroke, he was paralyzed all on his left side, couldn't walk, couldn't talk, couldn't eat, couldn't do anything. He had to learn all those things over again. And they put a pacemaker and defibrillator in his heart. They wouldn't let him leave the hospital without it. But about 3 years ago, a friend of his introduced him to this patch. Went by his house, put the patch on, and he said that same day, he did not do 5 insulin shots like he normally did. Only required him to do 1 because his glucose levels had started normalizing. 3 days of wearing the patch, no more insulin. It didn't, the glucose levels they were normalized just like that. 6 weeks later, he goes back to his cardiologist, and the cardiologist says, Mr. Payton, what are you doing? And he says, what do you mean? He says, well, your heart is no longer relying on the pacemaker. You see, they have a monitor, they have a calibrator. They can look at that and tell what's going on with that pacemaker. But he said it was no longer relying on it. So they go to a new cardiologist. Today, this has been 3 years now. Remember I told you that every 6 months that you wear this patch, your heart reverses by 8 years. He's been wearing the patch for 3 years now. And do you know this cardiologist says he has the heart of a 22-year-old when he is 67 years old? How can a person that had a pacemaker, heart disease, all of this, have the heart of a 22-year-old? It's because of this patch, you guys. So according to David Schmidt, this is not anti-aging, this is age reversing. Okay. Now, how do you wear this patch? Really simple, just like you would a Band-Aid. You just take the paper off the back, this paper here, take the paper off the back, stick it anywhere in your body. On these 2 diagrams, though, they show it below the belly button or behind the neck, because that's what they use in the case studies. But you don't have to you can just put it anywhere you want. But you need to wear it 12 hours on and 12 hours off. You put it on it. Let's say if you woke up at 8 o'clock in the morning, you could take it off at 8 at night. and allow your body to repair and rejuvenate. Throw that away. Why? You're going to get 30 patches in this beautiful, beautiful packaging. 30. So you could take it off every day, throw it away, and then put a new one on the next day. And here's what you must do, though. You must drink plenty of water. I know a lot of people don't drink enough water, but you must drink plenty of water so that the patch will work effectively and efficiently, because it's got a frequency in the patch, which sends a signal to your brain. It's going to work a lot better if you're hydrated. Now, I just got through going over this technical stuff, and I definitely want you to really relate to what this patch is doing for people. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull up a video of a physician that hopefully by listening to what he says, he's breaking it down into layman's term. Hopefully you will see what this patch is doing. So hold on and let me share this video with you.
Yeah, a little less than 5 months ago, my sister-in-law asked me to look into the patch, and I'd never heard of the X39 or LifeWave. Had been a big fan and still, was looking for ways to incorporate photobiomodulation and stem cell therapy. But because of the expense, I never really found what I was looking for. We have a gym that's a part of our clinic. We're very much into lifestyle medicine. It's always been more rewarding to me to get people off of their medicines for blood pressure and diabetes. And so having a repair and maintenance department, if you will, of the lifestyle medicine clinic was really a quest that I was on. And when I looked into this and saw how, saw the science behind it, how beneficial it was, that was so exciting to me. And 6 months ago, I would say everyone needs to expect to live into their 90s. Now with this technology, I really legitimately say we should expect to live into our 100s and beyond, if we're taking care of our bodies. But there is so much benefit. And, personally, I've been using the patch for about 4 months, and then on my patients about the same time period. And I couldn't tell you all of the testimonies, but I'll hit some of the highlights. I've seen inflammatory bowel disease virtually disappear in less than 6 weeks in a young man who was in between treatments and had failed Remicade. I've seen really one of the most impressive things is the neurodegenerative diseases that I'm seeing improve that we have no other treatments for in the world of Western medicine, and really, as far as I know, other than these stem cell patches anywhere else. But Alzheimer's, dementia has already been mentioned, but I've seen several now who are cognitively improving to the point that they can do things again, like drive when they weren't driving anymore. One person that I know of who has Parkinson's, whose tremor was so bad that he couldn't write and he couldn't feed himself. And in less than 1 week on the X39, his tremor completely went away. That's miraculous. There's nothing out there in our modern medicine world otherwise that does that. A lot of remarkable things that I wasn't anticipating, with blood sugar correcting and getting a lot better in both pre-diabetes and in diabetics, blood pressure getting better. And I'm a results guy too. I want to see these things. So we've started testing, on the front end if we're doing X39 and X49 in a young man that wants to, or for that age, an old man like me that wants to gain muscle mass and lose fat mass. So we're testing body composition on the front end, and then we're testing it at 4 weeks and 8 weeks, and doing our own internal studies, if you will. Personally, I gained 7 pounds of muscle and lost 10 pounds of fat in about 3 months with the X39 and X49. And I haven't changed anything with my diet or exercise. And Danny, you've been around me. I'm not exactly the healthiest eater in the world when it comes to dessert and that kind of thing. So, but yeah, I think when you pair this with a healthy lifestyle, when you really eat healthy and you hydrate well and you exercise and you get plenty of rest, sky's the limit on what you can see as far as results. And a lot of times it is fairly quickly. And I know we typically tell people to anticipate as they're older to expect it to take longer, or if the problem is inflammatory and it's been around for years, that it may take longer. And in general, that is true. But I will also say that I've seen patients in their 80s that are getting dramatic results with decreased inflammation and joint pain completely gone within a week or less. So it's hard to predict that, but the proof is in the trial. And I think just really my encouragement to everyone is you have to try this, do it for at least a year. But if you can get them to do it for 6 months, I think they're going to see everything they want to see in the results. So I think on the, as far as just future and what's to come with LifeWave and with next products, I just think we're just scratching the surface, and I'm really excited to see that. But even scratching the surface is, as you've heard, miraculous for a lot of people, and it's changing lives. So couldn't be more excited about it. I've been in medicine almost 30 years practicing, and I've never encountered anything like this. So
So you heard from a doctor, and I know you've got to be impressed with what he was saying about all the patients that are using this patch. You guys, we have our hands on something phenomenal. I just hope you don't take this lightly. And this is, like I said, this is just amazing. So I'm going to continue to go through the presentation. I told you about skin situations. This is a disease called vitiligo, where there is no cure, but yet the X39 made this man look completely different within a year. Look at this lady. After 3 years of wearing the patch, her lines and wrinkles diminished. This is amazing. So this is very exciting. Now, there are many, many more testimonies. I mean, I remember there's just a few that you just heard on this site. Again, thisitifo.com. Click on testimonies, and you will see it look like this. Like, say, for example, if you wanted to hear about someone that had neuropathy, what did it do for them? Click on neuropathy, and then there would be a video behind it, just like the one you just heard. If there was something wrong with someone, and someone has a stroke or had a stroke, they could click on stroke and they'll hear a testimony. So no matter what, eye improvement. Let me tell you what happened to me when one of my teammates, we didn't know. Once again, you don't know what this patch is going to do. This lady had 2 surgeries on her eye because her retina was detached, and the doctors could not reattach the retina. After wearing this patch for just 2 days, her retina reattached itself. Isn't that amazing? And she could see. Went back to the doctor, and he verified that the retina was now reattached. So you're going to hear some amazing testimonies as you go through these through this site. This is an info. You're going to hear doctors' reviews at the bottom, case studies, whatever you want to do, videos explaining phototherapy. So this is the site that we send doctors to, just like the doctor you just heard. He did his research before he wanted to expose this to his patients. Now, by now, hopefully you see how you and anybody around you can have your health freedom. I hope you were thinking about people, not just about yourself. When you heard these testimonies and you heard the science, because that's what happened to me and my husband. We weren't just thinking about ourselves. Matter of fact, we didn't think, we didn't have that many things, but we cared so much about our friends and family that we made a list and said, they've got to hear about it. And I hope you do the same. But also, what we're going to talk about now is financial freedom. So put your business hat on, you guys, because here's your chance to become debt free, to be able to do the things you want to do. As you can see, maybe a beautiful home, maybe being able to travel, having the time freedom to do that. All those types of things. This company allows you to win trips. Matter of fact, I'm wearing a t-shirt right now of where we went to Mykonos and Santorini to the Greek Isles when we won a contest. This company is a contest going on right now, an incentive trip that you could earn. So we're going to be able to travel all over the world without even having to come out of our pockets and do it. You want to have that financial freedom and time freedom. So this is a global business opportunity, you guys. It's not just limited to the United States. We're in over 80 countries now, experiencing exponential growth. Let me explain what I mean. See, back in 2021, the company had gotten up to about 20 million per year. But by 2022, it exceeded 320 million because of this X39 had started penetrating the market. And in 2023, jumped up to 430 million. In other words, exponential growth, projected to reach over 600 million last year. We did exceed that, but now we're on track to be $1 billion company. So do you want to be part of this movement and help? And the way this happens is we just share it with our friends and relatives, just like the way you were shared to get on this call with Jackie and Jammie, so that you could hear about it. And then you're going to tell somebody, and the company's going to keep growing, and you're going to get a part of that financially. I'm going to show you how that's possible. But how is this growth possible, you guys? We're talking about a product that's not a Me Too product, not a product that you hear about anywhere else. You know, many companies, you can go and get some weight loss, you can get some skin care, hair care, nutritional products, all kind of stuff. You can get that anywhere, but you cannot get X39 except through a LifeWave representative. Now, I'm about to share with you how we get paid, but I want you to know that we cannot make any promises or guarantees regarding your income. See, the success or failure of each brand partner, like any other business, depends on your skills and your personal effort. So you may have received a form that looks like this. It could be text to you, a picture of it, or email. And the purpose of this form is to let Jackie or Jammie know what you want. If you know, so for example, if you said, well, you know what? I just want to try a 30-day supply. Well, a retail value for one of these, if you just want to be a customer, is for a 30-day supply is about $150. That's if you wanted to be a one-time customer. If you see the value of staying on this, see, you're not going to, all your stem cells are not going to be reactivated in 1 month. It's going to take some time. You might experience some things along the way, but everything that needs to be corrected in your body is not going to be corrected in a 30-day period. So if you understand this science behind this, you may consider being a preferred customer and be able to be what you call an auto ship or monthly subscription, where you get it every month for $99.95. That's the wholesale price. That's what we pay for the patch, okay? If you know that not only do you want to use the patch, you want to get them free, because you want to tell other people about it. And when you tell other people about it, not only can you get your patches free, but you can also make money. You do that by getting one of these packages, which I'm about to explain to you. See, the first package is called the Core. $295 gets you 3 30-day supplies. That if you're married, that's enough for you and your spouse, and you got 1 30-day supply that I highly recommend you share it with your friends and relatives so they can experience the patch and see what it does for them. But so that's what the Core is for. Now, the Advanced Pack is for people who know that they really, really want to build a business. They want to earn money with it. They're going to get more patches. You're going to get 6 30-day supplies. What is 6 times 100? Would normally be $600, but you're going to get a $65 discount when you purchase this package. Now you got at least 4 extra sleeves with you, your spouse, and 4 more that you can share with your friends. That's a lot more patches. We normally give about 3 to 5 patches out depending on the person and how well we know them or whatever. And then the premium pack, by the way, the advanced pack is the package you need if you want to get promoted in the company. And see, for example, if you share this with 4 people, you're going to get promoted so fast that you might as well have done the advanced. If you cannot afford the advanced right now, come in with a Core, and you have plenty. You can advance. Just pay the difference between $295 and $535. You'll get that 3 more sleeves if you just pay the difference. Now, the premium pack is for the serious entrepreneur, like Jammie. Jammie came in with that premium pack. My husband and I came in with a premium pack. Why? Because we were so excited and we didn't want to leave anybody out. We wanted all of our friends to hear about it. So I made a list of 25 couples. My husband and I gave each couple 10 patches, 5 for the wife, 5 for the husband. And then we also made a list of 25 single people that we knew And we sit each one of them 5. But see, the thing about the premium pack, you're automatically saving $250. See, I love saving money. I mean, I know how to make a dollar holler. You know what I'm saying? That's normally a $2,000 investment, but you're getting it for $1,750 and you're getting 20 sleeves. What happens with that is this. Say that one of the things that's required with this business is staying on auto ship. You see, auto ship or monthly subscription means you're getting it every month. In order to stay active and be able to earn money, you must invest some money, which is one sleeve of X39 is $99. It's going to allow you to earn up to $100 a week. The 2 sleeve subscription or more is going to be $200 for the 2 sleeves. Not only do you get to keep your points, but you get a chance to maximize the compensation plan. And so, you know, if you're married, you need 2 anyway, right? But here's the other thing about the premium pack. Like when we got ours, before mine even got here, we had already started telling people about it, and they wanted some inventory right away because they wanted to share it with their relatives and their friends. So this gave us enough in our package. It gave us enough to share it, to loan them a 30-day supply. See, if you only have the core, you don't have enough. If you're talking to a lot of people like Jackie is, you're not going to have enough inventory to share with people while theirs is coming in. So this is why we highly recommend the advanced or the premium, because it's going to move your business faster. You know, I don't know about you, but when we first heard about it, we started telling people, like probably about 10 people within 2 days. And before the week is out, we've made our $1,750 back because they said, what kind of package did you get? We told them, and they said, well, that's what I want. We made our money back. See, it takes 4 people with this premium pack. I'll explain to you in a moment what you get paid when you get the premium pack. 4 people to earn your money back, where it takes 22 people who get the advanced pack to earn your money back. So this is why we highly recommend you be a premium and tell everybody and suggest to other people, but it's optional, okay? Now, let me tell you exactly how you're going to get paid. So let's say that there's someone on this call says, you know, I want to just try a 30-day supply. The company will pay you $50 when they pay the $150 and give you some points, 77 points. Remember those points, they're very important. If they decide to be on an auto ship so they can get the packages the same price as you, they're going to pay $99.95 and you're going to make $20 every month. Say for example, if they were on the patch for a year, that's $240 for one customer, $240 per customer. And then you're going to get 43 points. Now, remember I told you about the packages, the core. When they purchase the core, you earn $35 and 180 points. Don't diminish the value of the points. These points are worth a lot of money. I'm going to share with you in a moment. You're going to get $35 plus 180 points. 75 if they purchase the advanced and 300 points, and $405 for the premium and 745 points. Now look at this. The next way we get paid is called our binary commissions. And as you start earning money in the binary, those points that I told you about, they turn into money. But as a manager, which means you only have to refer 4 people, you can earn up to $1,500 per week as a manager. As you continue to grow in the company, you can make a higher amount per week. So listen to this. Here you are. Let's say this is you, Jackie, and Jackie, you're building a left team and a right team. The first person you put on, you may say, I'm going to put Cindy on my left side, put Bobby on my right side, put Erica on my left side, put Janice on my right side. You got 4 people, whether they're friends, relatives, co-workers, whatever. Those 4 people will qualify you to be a manager. And now you qualify to earn up to $25,000 per week just in the binary. How is that possible? Because I know you're thinking, I can't generate that kind of activity. More than likely you cannot. I shouldn't say you cannot, but more than likely you will not. But here's what you will do. Let's say if you enroll these 4 people, and let's say, I don't remember who we said this was, but let's say this is Cindy, and Cindy goes out and shares this with 10 people. Those 10 people have to fall below this person right here. Some of them will fall on Cindy's right side, just like you got people following on your right side. But every single person that Cindy enrolls, They got to fall below the last person that came in, and all of these will still fall under you. Let's say this is Bob, and Bob goes and shares this with 20 people, and they all sign up. Those Cindy is going to benefit from 100% of the activity of Bob. So you see how this becomes a team commission, and it is paid to infinity. Every single person that comes in after you on your left side, you're getting paid. Every time they place an order, those points turn into money and you get paid. Very, very exciting. Now, again, to be a manager, this is why it's important to get 4 so that you can be a manager. You need the advanced pack, or you need to turn around and place another order so that your volume would add up to 300, or you can upgrade from a core to advanced. We'll show you how to do all that. Don't try to figure it out. I'm just letting you know, this is why I'm emphasizing, if you can afford the advanced pack, please get the advanced pack, because we like to move people fast. And this, so you don't even have to try. The patch moves people fast. When people hear about this patch, they can't help. They can't wait to get their hands on it. Now, look what happens when you become a manager. You get to qualify for the 4th way of pay called matching bonuses. Excuse me. And that's because you are a manager, you qualify for matching bonuses. Here's how it works. Let's say if you enrolled me in the business, I get a package, I start telling people, I start earning money in the binary. I'm on your first level. Every time I earn money, you get 25% of what I earn. Suppose I earned $1,000 this week. You'll get 25% or $250. The company's not going to take it from my earnings. The company's going to reward you on top of my earnings. I go in order for me to have earned money in the binary, I had to share it with other people. Those people fall on your second level. You get 20% of what they earn. It's a lot more people on your second level than there are on your first level, because the first level are the people you enroll. Let's say you enroll 10 people. Let's say each one of those 10 enroll 10. Now you have 100 people on your second level. What if those 100 enroll 10? There's 1,000 people on your third level. So you can see how the further people go down, you're going to still get that 20%. And you can see how that is much more valuable than the first level. You guys, this is very exciting, and it is changing people's lives. I will tell you, for me and my husband, we were both pretty successful in our careers. And within 5 months of working this business, the income that we got from this business surpassed what we were making in our careers. And I'm just telling you, if you work it right, and we're here to help you, all you got to do is believe it and get to work. See, all we do is share what I'm doing right now. We're talking to people and sharing how this works. And they're going and sharing it with their family and friends, and we get paid. That's it. That's all it is. There's more details about this on this website called thisisitteam.com. Please write that down. There are videos, diagrams, everything, but don't worry, we'll answer any questions that you might have. Don't try to figure it all out right now. Just be excited and go and tell those people on your list they got to try this patch, and you will get paid. Because I guarantee you, the first week when we heard about it, we had not, I couldn't do this. I couldn't explain this stuff. All I did was ask my sponsor, can you get on a call and explain it to my friends the same way Jammie and Jackie have you on this call? They don't know how to present this, but they will know, because they are used to presenting to people in other ways, talking in front of people and stuff. It's very simple. But we've got these postcards. As you can see on the front, it says benefits of the X39, all those benefits I told you about. And on the other side, it tells you about this website that I keep mentioning, and it tells you how to wear the patch. You got to use water, drink water, all this kind of stuff. And then you put it in this envelope. Well, in this this is a postcard size envelope. What you do is put some patches in the envelope and give it to your friends and relatives and ask them to please try it, because you really, really want to help them. So that's a great business tool that you can get. We do calls every single night, you guys. For example, tonight, I know it's late, but 10 o'clock tonight, we'll have a team call where same thing I'm sharing with you. It'll be a lot more people on that call. If you want to get on that call, you can, take a screenshot of this, because here's the Zoom ID 943-596-2989. Again, 943-596-2989. And the passcode is 44. You can take a picture up here somewhere too, so you can see it a little better. Take a screenshot of it if you want to get on that call at 10 p.m. and invite your relatives that are on the West Coast, because it's earlier out there. or somebody else that you care about that didn't get a chance to hear my presentation. This call is recorded, and Jammie can share it, and Jackie can share that with you. But listen, you guys, it's time to make your move now. If you're serious about your dreams, trust me, I said at the beginning of the call, this is not something I would be doing unless I really was really felt special, something special about it. I would not be spending my time. If you knew what kind of person I am, I wouldn't be wasting my time. This is very important. It is changing people's lives, and this is hope for your future. Because remember, a lot of people with regard to their health, they don't have any hope. People with Alzheimer's, people with atrial fibrillation, people have had strokes. People that they didn't have any hope, but they have it now with X39. So please get back with Jackie and Jammie and anyone else that may have invited you to this call. Let them know, just text them and say, please follow up with me tonight because I want to tell you what package I want, or if I want to, just try one, whatever it is, text them and let them know to call you back tonight or tomorrow. Don't go past that. Remember that binary? When I told you the last person, every time a person comes in, they have to go out to the last person. So that, what does that tell you? The sooner you sign up, the better chance you have of overriding the volume of all these other people that are on the call. You guys, this is moving fast. I highly encourage you to take it seriously. Again, my name is Verdita Monk. I thank you so much for your time, and we will see you all very soon. Take care.